So, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, rooted to the bottom of the table. Arsenal flying high like an eagle, top of the table, 5 points clear. Big up Ivan Toney, by the way. Respect. But big up Martin Odegaard. He got the win. He got us 2 goals today. It wasn't pretty to watch. It wasn't the fluid football that we've seen in certain games this season. But we got the job done. And as a team, collectively, as a club, as a establishment, as a fan base, there was fans there with tops off, like Newcastle fans. Big up to them, by the way, because it's freezing in England. But yeah, we're 5 points clear going into the World Cup. It is what it is. Obviously, Arsenal have watched this podcast. They've watched the player ratings. They've watched the fan cams. They've listened to us. And they're starting to actually act like a big club. So, Jez, big up to you, my friend. Anyone who hasn't watched your fan cam, give us your little breakdown of that 90 minutes we witnessed this evening.
We are top of the league. Say, we are top of the league. We are top of the league for 5 points clear. Yeah, bit of history. There you go. That's me. Yeah, great. Can't wait. Loving it. And we're 5 points clear. It wasn't a great performance, but I don't care. It's the old
champions.
It's how you win leagues. Sorry, I don't care. You can't always win it pretty. We've done it before, and it is what it is. I don't care. I'll take it on the chin, and we're going in now to the World Cup. Arsenal top of the league, 5 points, and looking forward to resuming the business on Boxing Day
against West Ham, who lost again today to Leicester. My boy Maddison scored again, got a call up. Kenny, fresh off of the back of the piano lessons, what did you make of that for anyone who's not watched your fan cam, mate?
You know what? It was a very the first half. I actually thought it was a kind of a little deal between them. The Wolves and Arsenal to say, don't tackle me too hard because I'm going to the World Cup and I've been waiting for this for 4 years. So it was one of those sort of should we, shouldn't we? Xhaka got injured as well. Didn't get injured. He had a dicky tummy. It's probably the same bug that Raheem Sterling had that stopped him from playing in St James's Park. One of those,
one of the Gary Linekers. He shat himself.
No, I think it's a stress bug because they don't want to, miss out on the greatest show on earth, which is going to start next Sunday. But I think what it was is that it was a kind of normally Man City wins, they go 1 point up, and then we got something to actually motivate ourselves for. We go at it. But I think first half we already knew we were going to be topping by the time Box Day comes along. So it was kind of that kind of feeling. We were a more relaxed approach, but probably too relaxed. Second half, we went up to gear 2 and gear 3, and we were easily the better team. We won pretty comfortably, really, and I just commend the performances of Gabriel Magalhaes, player that we criticise. And, Odegaard got a couple of goals. I was very pleased with Saliba, though there was a bit of... He nearly gave away a penalty and he did that sloppy back pass. But we're a solid team. We're so hard to break down. But for people like Retro Gamer, yeah, you, mate, I'm going to call you... You've been heckling, so I'm going to call you out. Let me give you one history lesson. I'm never going to apologise for being Arteta out because the club is bigger than Arteta, than me, Lee, Jez, bigger than Thierry Henry, bigger than even Herbert Chapman. The club's a star, and we want the best for the football club. So the only apologising we're going to be doing is to no one, especially a little rat like you. So let's get on the play ratings.
Hey, facts, man. Come on, listen. The club have obviously watched the shows. They've listened. They've sunk it in. They've drunk it in. Watch it, drink it in, as Martin Tyler once said, famously, as Aguero scored the goal in the 94th minute or wherever it was. But anyway, let's get through player ratings. Let's go straight away. Jez, Aaron Ramsdale, clean sheet again. Best defense in the league.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to the fella. I'll tell you one thing I loved about him today. Second half, Wolves came through and nearly had a chance, and I watched what he said to his defence, and he said, "Do your effing job," and he pointed. Not sure who he was pointing at, but he was pointing at somebody, and he was like so adamant. That's what I love about him. Fair play to him. Didn't have a great job to do today, but awesome. His ball distribution was great. 7 for me.
Let's go straight to Ben White. I'm sure he's fuming, Kenny, that he's been called up to the England squad because him and his missus could be in Mykonos.
He don't like football, does he?
Well, he was kicking off and the referee was giving him a bit of lip service. I was like, why are you even kicking off? You don't even like football, bro. But he's been superb this season. He has. He's after Xhaka, for me, I think he's been our next best player. Yeah. Don't blame it centre right, blame it right back, Gareth.
Yeah. Did he create one of the did he have that sort of outball that created one of Jesus' chances that he forsake today? Because I thought he had a really good game. He's really solid. It's a bit hard to see him in any position other than centre half or in a back three, but he's making the job look really easy. He's a very intelligent player. He's a very good footballer. It's a shame he doesn't love the game as much as all three of us. But performance today solid. I'll give him a 7 because you know what, football's all about being proved wrong. Because if people like Benjamin White proves us wrong, if our dear manager proves us wrong, it's because they're meeting the standards that we've demanded from day one.
Facts.
Which is so he's definitely a player that I've got a lot of respect for. Don't like the fact he don't like football because I think it's bonkers, but good performance today.
Let's go to the opposite side, Jez. Zinchenko, foul throw. Obviously watching Bellerin compilations. But listen, I'm not going to sway you one way or the other. It's your player ratings. And let me just say one more thing. If you don't like the player ratings, we don't care, people. Put yours in the comments because we're going to be back again on Boxing Day. Maybe after the friendlies. Depends on what friendlies we've got coming up. But Jez, Zinchenko.
Yeah, I thought he was a bit shaky in the first half. Second half, that lovely little move he made down on that left side. Yeah, that was class. I still don't think this guy's 100% just yet, which I find confusing. Why Arteta is playing him, I don't know. But the second half, I think he came more into the game. And for me, I'll give him a 7.
Let's go to centre halves. Kenny, I'm going to give you Saliba. Could have given away a penalty. Very nearly gave them a goal. He was the bozo gene today, wasn't he? He wasn't great, but he kind of recovered and composed himself.
You know what the thing about it, right, is it was a good test for him because as much as obviously you're not a big fan of Traore as a sort of in terms of his end products, and I get that, but it was the fact is that Traore gave him at least 2 or 3 yards, and he still managed to outpace him. That's no disgrace, but it's a learning curve for William. And I thought today, apart from the the Willie Young moments in terms of should have given away a penalty and the fact that he did that back pass for Guedes, I'll give him a 6 because a lot of things he does, he's really solid. He's assured in possession, and one thing about that is that you can't turn him. You can't outmuscle him. He uses all of his 6'4", to effectively. He really is going to be a top player. He's what a lot of Arsenal fans called the Mbappe of the defence. But you know what? We've been dreaming probably for about good 2 or 3 years of a Gabriel and Saliba partnership. And guess what? That is a partnership that can play at the club for at least another 5 to 6 years, if not 7.
Yeah.
Let's go to his partner in crime, Jez. Somebody I called the bozo gene. He was far from the bozo gene today. I thought he was superb. Blocks, throwing his body on the line, literally involved in everything good we did defensively. What did you make of him?
Yeah, I thought Gabriel Magalhaes today was awesome. Fair play to him. And I thought about this one today since my fan cam and doing this. Yeah, I thought he was quality today, and I will. Excuse me, sorry. I will give him my man of the match. I'll give him a 9.
I agree. I will toast to that, but that's empty. So we will toast to this one. Cheers, guys. Lovely. Let's move into midfield. I'm going to kind of stitch you up here, Kenny, because I'm going to give you Granit Xhaka.
Well, that's fine. I got no problem doing it because I think you can't really rate him.
Before you answer about Granit Xhaka, do you think because I said this on the watch along, surely you knew that there was something off key before you went on the pitch. Yeah, but you thought, oh, maybe I can run it off. Or was he going, I'll preserve myself for the World Cup? Take the floor.
Well, your guess is as good as mine, but that first half was very much all about we're so close. It's a World Cup in a week's time. Don't tackle me hard, please. I don't want to tackle you hard. And he clearly had a problem before the match, and I think his manager said, "Look, I need you. You need to go through that sort of wall, physical and mental wall for me. I need you out there." He said, "All right, no problem. I'll do it. I'm playing well, blah blah." And then as soon as he went down on his haunches, I just thought, "Get him off. Get him off. You can't mark him. Can't mark him."
On for about 15 minutes after that.
yeah, but you can't mark him. He didn't want the ball. He came on, ran off. He thought he could run it off. You don't run off whatever he had. I don't know whether it was a bug or anything, but if you've got a head, you can't run that off. I can't. One of those things. If I was marking GCSE maths paper, I can't mark him. I might give him a mark for where they give you a mark for writing down your name. I'll give him a mark for turning up. I'll give him a 3 because he actually put his boots on, his shorts on, and his shirts on. But that's all I can give him. But that's not out of malice. I'm giving him a 3 out because there was nothing happening.
No.
Let's go to Thomas Partey.
Partey, yeah. I thought did the job today. Can't fault the guy. Looks solid to me. Did the job. Wasn't outstanding in my book, so I'll give him a 7.
Let's go to our match-winning captain, who is actually officially our top goal scorer now, Kenny. Promotion guard, relegation guard, stat padding against fucking dead teams, but he stat padded today when it fucking mattered.
Yes.
Yeah, and he got us the win. And as much as I cuss this guy and I don't rate this guy, without his goals today, we wouldn't be 5 points clear. What did you know what? Because you're a little bit softer on him than I am.
I am. I was giving him a bit of a leeway because I think if I annoy him too much, he won't perform, and it hurt his confidence because he's a kind of creative player. We need to open that door, and I thought today he was probing. He did try and open the door in the first half, but I think he struggled because the game was one of those a bit of a stalemate. Second half, I think he thrived. He's back doing what we were screaming for do. Get in the box. Just remember you're an attacking player. We need goals from all over the shop. And today I'm going to mark him very high. I'm going to give him an 8 because there was an end product, not just in terms of his creativity, but in terms of his goals. He won us the game, and what he did is he brought control in that game, and he brought a bit of in terms of calmness, no stress. He made it way too comfortable, made it way too easy for us. So can't fault Martin today.
No, mate, I agree. I thought he. I'll say no more. Yeah, because if I speak, I do not want to get in trouble. Yeah, so let's go. Let's move. Let's go. Bukayo Saka, Jez.
Yeah, Saka. I thought first half ineffectual second half. I thought he's decent. But I'm going down this road here with what Kenny's been saying. His thoughts in Qatar now? Good luck to the fella. Well done. Hope you do well in the World Cup and bring it on. Good luck to England. But Saka up today, you're getting a 7.
Let's move to the opposite side. Gabriel Martinelli.
I thought he one of the impressive things he did the ugly jobs very well for us. In terms of like off the ball, he was being a bit of a nuisance. He was trying to create a situation there was no space for their forwards to run into. So off the ball, I was very happy with him, very impressed, and he was involved in our second goal as well. Where there's a lot of the rough edges that we saw last season and the season before. They're kind of being ironed out now. He's becoming a fully formed footballer, and he's earned his call up for Brazil. It's very much a wild card, I would say, because I know it was between him and Firmino's had a very good season at Liverpool, albeit them not challenging for anything big like a title. So it must have been like a decision between him and Tisha, but he's I wish him all the best for his country, but I'm going to give him a 7 because as much as he worked his nuts off and he was involved in their goal, hit the box a bit more, mate. We're going to need. You can't just rely on Jesus because at the moment he isn't delivering in that respect. He's delivering work rate and everything else, but we need more goals from you. And Martin's turned up today with goals. I don't know when was the last time he scored. Has he scored since Liverpool? Yeah, I think he scored since Liverpool game, hasn't he? Or have I got it wrong? So I need more. I need more from him.
Let's go to Gabriel Jesus. Had a couple of great chances, Jez. I think it's 9. Is it 9 or 10 games without a goal? Slid Odegaard in when he should have shot. Cut inside and spanked the bar when he should have shanked it with his left. He does everything fantastic outside the box, but this is a player out of form inside the box, and I think that's showing. But his endeavour and work rate will always be warranted. What did you make of him today?
Yeah, this guy is annoying to other opposition teams. Let's get it right. He causes panic. There was one occasion today he tried to weave like an eel through that defence. It didn't come off. At this point in time, he's not scoring the goals, but it happens. He spanked the crossbar today, and he caused drama. And he got in my book, he got an assist. An assist, dare I say that? But the guy, to me, at this moment in time, I see it on my fan cam. He's panicking. He's desperate to score. Desperate. And we've seen this. Lee, Kenny, we've all seen this with strikers in our time. We've seen it with Henry. We've seen it with Van Persie. We've seen it with Giroud. We've seen it with Fabregas. We've seen it with all kinds of some of our iconic players. Bergkamp. I remember a season with Bergkamp. He went 4 or 5 months, struggled like hell to score a goal. So I'm not gonna kick on this guy. I'm not. He's going to the World Cup, and good luck to him. Fair play to him, and I hope he does very, very well. And I hope he goes there, bangs a few goals, and comes back and kicks on next season. But I like this guy because he panics defences, and he's not scoring goals. Fair play at the moment, but I'm going to give him a 7.
Let's move to substitutes. Fabio Vieira came on after 16 minutes and then was subbed later in the game. What did you make of him, Jez? Set up the goal for Odegaard to break the deadlock. Yeah.
I liked his contribution to Daly. I really did. I thought he was busy, he was active, he was annoying. I actually see a big future for this fella. I still say he needs to bulk up. He needs to get down the gym with Kenny, that's for sure. Yeah, fair play to the fella. I'll give him a 7.
Let's go to Mohamed El Neni, Kenny.
You know what? Fact is that he's such a lovely man, and he loves playing for their club. And you know what? If we win anything this season, I'd like to see him get a medal, because he is what he is in a tin. He's not going to win us games, but what he's going to do is that he's obedient. He obeys his manager. He closes games out for us, and I've got, you know, I respect that. You know what I mean? You know, he actually does a more effective job than bringing on Rob Holding to just head, you know, to win headers. So, you know, I'm going to give him I'll give him a 5. He didn't have much time to make an impact for me, but you know, I've always had little. He's one of my pets. You know, people like the players I've always respected in the last few years haven't been the superstars. It's been people like Per Mertesacker, you know, who I know gives their all for the club. Macho Monreal, and then he's in my little pet group, because you know, players who I know give everything and will die for the cause. They're never going to be like world stars. They're not going to be spectacular, although. But they're always going to be my favourite players, and I think Monreal and at the El Nenis and Mertesackers, good club men.
Yeah, let's go to Reece Nelson. Came on at the same time as El Neni.
Yeah, Reece Nelson. To be fair to the fella, I'd really like to see more of him. I really would. Didn't get a lot of game time, to be fair, but didn't really have an impact on the game. So I'll give him the bang average 5, because didn't really do a lot for me.
Let's go Cedric Suarez, Kenny.
Again, it's one of those things. He's, you know, basically slamming the door shut, you know, and basically protecting what we got. And you know, that is what you do for your manager. You know, the dirty jobs, you know, the water carrying jobs. So I'm going to give him a 5 as well.
I think that's everyone, right? I think that's everyone. Yeah. Suarez, Fabio, Nelson, El Neni. Okay, that's everyone. You know how this works, guys. You can do it, guys. Smash the likes up. Follow Kenny Ken 1972. Follow Jez, Arsenal history, and more. Links in description. If you don't like the player ratings, we don't care. We'll be back again on the friendlies during the World Cup, and then failing that, we'll be.
Are they going to be televised, the friendlies?
Well, I'm sure Arsenal will probably charge fucking 10 quid to watch it, Kenny. Yeah, so there'll be somewhere.
They should give it up for free, because we all will be watching the World Cup. They've got to give it us for free.
All right, you say we're all watching the World Cup. I won't be. Because I ain't interested.
You might change your mind. Well, I can't speak for you. You're hard to. It's hard to change your mind. I know that.
International football's dead and buried, mate. It's boring. It's not like it was back in the day. And I heard you and Jez talking when I went to the toilet going, international football used to be the be all and end all, yeah? Now it's all about league football. It's true.
It was.
And why was that? And why was that? Because we got to see some of the greatest footballers who live in history play in international tournaments. Now you see these players play every week, and it's like, well, okay, that's great, Premier League, but now we go international, and that's boring. Yeah, because
I think the Champions League. But the thing is that the thing about it is that a lot of the great players, especially players from our cousins in Africa and parts of the, you know, Central America, because they play for countries where some of them didn't get a tournament, they were missing out on being called goats. Like George Weah played for Liberia because of the Champions League. George Weah, yeah. But George Weah can, you know, like I said, because of what he's doing with, you know, Milan and, you know, what he did with PSG as well, we're getting to see the best of George Weah. Hence the fact that he was World Footballer of the Year. That will never have happened if the Champions League wasn't that big, because the Champions League is the World Cup every year. You know, it is.
But you say that, Kenny, but let's not forget Gazzetta dello Sport, George Weah, Italian football.
Of course, that as well. Of course, yeah, that as well. I remember that as well.
The World Cup I can tell you, as a young little kid, my first ever experience of the World Cup, Mexico 1970, I was allowed to stay up till 11 o'clock at night, and I sat there with my dad. My dad was not a football fan at all. And it was Russia versus Mexico, 1970. And I sat there, and we sat there, and it was a 0-0. And that's my first ever game ever watching the World Cup. And I was fascinated because my granddad had told me about the 1966, which I was not old enough to remember. I was 5 then, I think.
Wasn't that the Carlos Alberto screamer?
Oh, mate. I mean, I remember that team. I could probably name you that.
4-1, 4-2 against Italy.
4-1, wasn't it?
4-2, yeah.
That was just fluid football, man. And then he slapped it. Yeah,
and the Gordon Banks miracle save. The miracle
that's
save.
The thing.
Gordon Banks and Pele.
Oh yeah, that was the same World Cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, the thing with me, obviously, you kind of remember 1978, and you remember the final, but you don't remember the tournament. But the first time I got it, you think the first World International tournament I can think of was the 1980 European Championships, which I realised that it was only 2 weeks and it was very small. It seemed like invitation only. So when the World Cup came along in '82, that is where I thought, that's when I thought brilliant.
Spain,
Spain, and the thing that I liked was that,
good year, mate.
England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. England, Scotland, Northern Ireland were there. So you think about it. That's my introduction to the World Cup. So I do get it in terms of the fact that we've fed a diet of really high class football in the Premiership, La Liga. Before it was Gazzetta dello Sport with like Baggio, James Richardson, and now
is the main guy
who looks Italian, but he's not. And then you've got the Champions League. So
I
respect that.
Kenny, do you remember the controversy of the '82 in Spain when the
Algeria, Austria and Germany basically.
Yeah, remember that.
If Germany won 1-0, or both of them weren't trying because they wanted to make sure that each other went through. That's
why FIFA changed it that both semi-finals would be played at the same time after.
That game was a disgrace. It was what happened is that Rubesch scored for West Germany, and then what's happened? They just started passing it around, and they weren't even bothering tackling each other. And even the commentator said that if this was a practice match, it'll be a disgrace. And Algeria beat Chile, but they lost the goal difference. Was that?
Italy won 82, right?
Yeah, Paolo Rossi scored 6 goals. Banned. He was actually banned for 2 years for match fixing for more forms.
That was when it was West Germany.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and East Germany.
Yeah, West Germany.
Wait, do you know my first ever World Cup moment? Yeah, like that I genuinely remember was '94. Yeah,
you don't remember Italian 90?
I do, but I don't. If that makes sense, because I was like 8. Yeah, I can't really remember it. I know of it because I'm educated and look back, but I was 8. Yeah, I remember watching Anfield '89 because my parents let me stay up and watch it because it was on the TV. Yeah, right, and I was fucking 6, 7. Yeah, I was 7, coming up 7. I was turning 7 the next week. Yeah, but I remember that. But I don't remember, the fucking 1990. I do, but I don't. Yeah, the first memory was I think 94 was when Maradona ran up to the camera, smashed off his face, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
I remember that.
That's the thing. Pele and Maradona were called GOATs because they won the World Cup. Hence the fact we owe Pele played for Santos and Maradona. Obviously, you could call him a GOAT because he won everything. Napoli weren't winning anything before he went there, and they won a title twice.
If you watched the Maradona documentary, have you seen it?
Yeah. He he was off his face when he was in Napoli. That's when his cocaine problem started in Napoli.
Mate, he dragged that fucking shit team. That's like taking fucking Burnley to the title. Like, real talk. It's like taking Burnley to the title.
Or Leicester.
Well, come on. Jamie Vardy FC. Mahrez, my boy. Yeah.
Hey,
Neymar.
Hey, you know what we were missing? You know what we were missing? Poor old Mikel hasn't got a rating.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Let's do a 3-2-1. Yeah, come on. If you don't like the ratings, we don't care. 3, 2, 1. 8.
8.
You know what? If I'm with Mikel Arteta, as lucky as he's been to be in a job, he's grabbed his luck with both hands. And you know, as I said to you in the fan cams, I speak to you, Jess, on a regular basis. You know, one of the things I respect that he's doing is that if you're gonna bleat and talk about I need to get my own players in, then you have to deliver. And fair play to the man. He's got his own players in. He's got his preferred style of playing, and he's delivering. So got to shake his hand. You know, but we'll all be monitoring him, and we'll be watching his every move. And we'll if he goes back into his bad habits, we'll give him 6 of the best again because we want the best. So there's going to be no like sloppiness or slipping down on the standards that we've set you, and you're following, Mikel. But fair play to mate. You got your wanted, and you're delivering. Can't say more than that.
This is the funny thing, Kenny, isn't it? Is all we've been saying for 3 years. Lee, you, me, all we've been saying is all we want is Arsenal to challenge and win the Premier League and challenge. And I get people. Well, you in my group chat, and you get people saying, "Oh, are you now a flip flop?" And no,
that's embarrassing on their part. I feel sorry for them. I'm embarrassed for them when they ask that question because they disrespect us in such an embarrassing way as to say that
football's can't celebrate though, Kenny. You're not allowed to celebrate, Kenny, because you weren't here as part of the journey. No. How about, motherfucker, we demanded a title race for time. You lot accepted, let's get top 4. Let's finish 8th. It's part of the... No, we accepted a title charge. That's it. Our standards are title. At least
nothing more than that.
Yeah? That's it. So people sit there and go, "Oh, you're in the mud." No, we're not in the mud. The club are doing what we actually want to do.
Yeah,
and what we said the club should do. Yeah, fair play. If Mikel Arteta gets us to a title charge, all 3 of us will sit on a podcast and go, "Fair
congratulations."
play.
I'll say congratulations.
But you know what? We accept that and we embrace that, and we're entitled as fans to sit there and say, "Do you know what? We were part of that fucking process because we demanded the very best, even when you lot were accepting 8th." Yeah, real talk.
Yeah,
can't deny it. And
I'll tell you what, sorry, Kenny. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Yeah,
I will fly out to where you are, Lee, and I'll come out to your gaff, and I'll buy you a bottle of champagne, and we'll sit on your terrace, on your balcony, and we'll look out to the sunset of where you are, and we can go, "Fuck you lot, we proved you right."
Oh, exactly. And there's Gibraltar guard sat on the rock.
yeah.
And that's the thing.
I'll fucking do that. I will fly out. Me and the wife will come out and we'll fucking sit in the hotel with you, right? And I'll sit on your balcony with a big, I can't say cigar because I don't smoke anymore, but I'll sit there with a nice bottle of Bollinger and I say, "Here we are, boys. We've proved you all wrong."
So we won.
You know what I'll do? What I'll do is I'll celebrate, and I'm going to be part of it because I've earned the right because I've paid enough to watch.
You can come as well, Kenny. You can drink right.
Oh no! But you know what I'll do is that at the end of the celebration, I'll say, "Oh yeah, by the way, to be a great side, you do know that you've got to do this every season, and that
Yeah.
you don't just do it one season, not do it again. You got to.
Oh, Kenny,
But-
you're moving the goalpost now. See, you're negative and toxic, mate.
Oh,
yeah?
no, because
You're
I'm
saying that
listen,
he fluked it. That's what you're saying indirectly.
no,
He
never, not
fluked
at all.
it.
No. But what I'm saying about the thing is that we may not win this title, but what I want is a trophy. But I just want the standards. All I asked for was to challenge for the title. I never asked for top four. I think top four is just the bare minimum. And as you said, we've had top four football, and we've never really got the great players because they've gone elsewhere. So I want a title challenge, and I want the players to think, you know what, we should be winning the league every year. I don't want to hear them saying the top four. So if we finish second or third, and we take it into the last week, I'll be satisfied. But I want the FA Cup and the Europa League as a consolation prize because, as you say, it's about glory.
Do you know what's mad, right? Is all the people that are sitting there getting on our case, and there's a lot of people. Oh, you can't celebrate if we. Oh, Arteta's proving you wrong. Apologise. No, motherfucker. We held the standards from day one. We held the standards from day one. You were accepting eighth, and fifth. You're accepting.
Yeah, exactly.
And knocked out the fucking League Cup the other day, telling me I'm negative, wanting to stay in it. But last season, you were fucking Minamino, Ben White, laughing at Minamino for Xhaka to go on a 2-foot fucking yotter, right? We are holding the standards, right? We have always held the standards. The standards are, okay, cool, we can't win the league every year. At least compete. This season, so far, we're competing. So if we do compete and don't win it, we'll be the first to sit there and go, cool, we got to the last month of the season in a title race. That's all we fucking want. Yeah.
That's all we've asked for. That's all we've asked for.
When you lot were accepting fifth, eighth, sixth, fifth. Oh, but oil money and this. No. The standards have always been the same. We've never dropped our standards, never lowered them, because between us, we have 150 years of watching Arsenal. And between us, add up the fucking trophies, motherfucker. Yeah. Whilst you lot are sitting there in the mud, accepting shit, we've always kept the standards high.
Exactly.
Yeah?
That's best way.
If Arsenal get in a title race, then they've got on our level, not your fucking level.
Exactly. And that's the thing. You know, I couldn't care less whether people would go from being what Arteta replaced to saying good luck to them. That's up to them. I'm not going to criticise you for that. I'm never going to criticise you, but please don't expect me to do that, because you know, I've never been about, you know, the reason why I wanted Arteta replaced, because I didn't think he had the experience, and I thought the results horrendous. But he's up in his game, so you know, only thick people who are football thick, not life thick, but football thick, will ask any of us a question and say, "Oh, are you changing teams now?" It's like a prat who doesn't like football coming up to me and saying, "Oh, why do you like football? That Arsenal don't pay you." You know, that sort of prat. So you want to smack right between the nose. But you know, there are some prats out there who want to be what I call inners, who want to join in a conversation that they have no business being part of. But in order to simplify their basic thick arguments, they say, "Oh, you must be Arteta in now." Go jog on, mate. It's not. It was never about Mikel Arteta. It was never personal.
I'll be top of the table with Manchester United. Yeah. On that bombshell, we're going to wrap this up.
Can I just before we go, can I just say one? I'll make one comment.
Go on, mate.
I think it's going to happen, but I'm going to make one statement here. That badge behind me means more than anything. That is Arsenal. It's not me. It's not anybody. It's that. That is Arsenal. That is Arsenal. And before we go, it's Victoria Concordia Crescent, and we'll see you later.
Hey, the club is a star. It's bigger than anyone else. Bigger than any of these pork chops saying, "Oh, who are going for tit for tat on babyish videos. Oh, he didn't back me in, and he knew about this and that." Oh, jog on, mate. We're top of the table. We should be getting 42 out of 42 points out of 42. We're not worried about your little beefs. Go away. Jog on.
Facts. Facts. And on that bombshell, we're out of here. I'll be back again tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll see. Adios, amigos. The club.
Podcast on Monday.